What is up, everybody? Welcome to another podcast. This is episode 9. I have my good friend here, Sir Justin Werner. What is up, man?
What's up?
Not much, man. How are you? How was the drive down from Irvine, right?
Pretty smooth.
You live in Irvine now? It's crazy. You moved all the way from San Diego to Irvine. How
Yeah.
is the whole transition?
It was wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a pretty bumpy road, but it's not that bad. Yeah.
Just adjusting slowly?
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, man. I can imagine moving up there. I tried to do it once before, but I didn't have the balls, so I'm still in San Diego.
You had the balls to move to San Diego though, so
Yeah, I did something.
yeah.
My brother lives in like on the border of Santa Ana and Costa Mesa, I think.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere over there,
Nice.
or Newport Beach. He's like on the
Okay.
border of Newport Beach and Santa Ana. It's like right
Okay.
in the middle. So I
Yeah.
go up and see him every once in a while.
Nice.
He made the move down here. It's kind of crazy.
He's
Can't
living
believe
here
it.
now, or
Well, he lives in up there.
he lives up there?
Yeah,
okay.
he works in sales, so it's
All
kind of
right.
cool to see him make the move and come down to Cali and soak up the sun and make
Yeah.
moves. He's in sales, so he makes like really good money doing sales.
Was he in Florida before?
No, that's Peter.
Okay.
Josh, was in Florida. Peter's in here in San.
Okay.
And
How many
Costa
brothers
Mesa.
do you have?
A lot. Six
Wow.
brothers. Yeah, it's crazy.
No kidding.
Six
That's
brothers, 4 sisters. It's insanity, folks.
taking over.
We're taking over the nation. Yeah, man. So how do you like it up there? How's it treating you so far?
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's mellow. Orange County is mellow, but
Yeah, it is a nice spot.
it's kind of nice though because it's right between San Diego and LA.
It's in the middle.
So, yeah, so you get the best of both worlds, and
That's cool, man.
so it's not as much of a trek to get to LA,
Yeah.
and it's really not that bad to get to SD. So yeah.
It's in the middle. So you still do shows? Are you just playing shows at just a couple spots that you picked, and you still come down and
yeah,
kind of commute down?
yeah.
I seen you playing tonight at the Aviara. Is that how you say
Yeah,
it?
Park Hyatt Aviara.
I always mess it up. I don't even know how to say it.
Yeah, if I'm listening to my GPS, it says Aviara,
I
something
know,
like
dude,
that.
I can never
yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it. I just don't even say it. Like, thank you for coming out to the Park Hyatt. I just stopped there, so I don't know how to say it. That's a cool spot, though, man.
yeah.
I was actually just reading up on it, and it was Spanish architect.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what it's. That's the look of it. It's Spanish
Okay.
Spanish architecture.
From what I understand, the owner was a part of a circle of different investors that went in on a bunch of hotels, and so
So they own more than that.
yeah, and they were actually involved with the guys up in Westlake Village at the Four Seasons, and I play at the Four Seasons up there.
That's
and
cool.
So they were partners at one point in time, and then they ended the partnership.
Wow,
But,
interesting.
yeah, so all those high rollers, they
Dude.
got it down.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Just keep making money.
Oh yeah,
Just keep
Yeah.
raking it in.
Oh yeah, they know what to do.
Raking in the dough, baby. It's growing off trees.
Cash flow.
That's right. Money. What did they say about the money that grows on trees? It can. You can make it that way. That's cool, man. So you play up Westlake. That's like west of Hollywood, right?
It's actually closer to Ventura County.
Ventura. So it's further
right
up.
next to Thousand Oaks.
Thousand Oaks. Okay.
Yeah, right
That's
next
not
to
too bad.
between Malibu and.
But it's
Thousand
nice
Oaks.
going up there and playing, getting a little different vibe.
Yeah, it definitely. It's like the geography kind of changes.
Oh,
as
totally.
You go north, so it's inspiring.
That's cool, man. Have you ever thought about going up to like doing shows up in maybe I don't know, Santa Barbara, if you could?
Yeah,
Those are nice spots, man,
Yeah,
like up on the
there are.
coastline.
Yeah, definitely.
So many places, dude, to play.
Back when I did a lot of street music, I played Santa Barbara quite
Yeah.
a bit. I'd cruise through there, and it's always a good place for tips.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
Great
street
city.
art out there, so you could blend in really nicely.
The pier is really cool there too. They have a nice pier.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Nice beach area. And
Yeah.
it's really beautiful. There's just so many places. I've actually like had it in my mind. One of these days I wanted to just travel up the coast and just try to play as many places as I could up the coastline. Would be really cool. I don't know. It's just an idea I've had.
Oh yeah, you should.
When I have nothing to do and I have no responsibilities one day.
Get it? Yeah.
Just drive up.
Yeah.
In my Prius V. Sleep in the back of it.
I'm not even shy about the open mics. I hit it. If it's there, I grab it and go with it, because you never know. I mean, it's all about playing.
Yeah.
I was reading something yesterday, and on somebody's post on a timeline, they were saying, play every show like it's your last show, no matter where you are, because you never know.
I always forget about that, man. I always forget about that a lot. I take it for granted, Yeah. It's unfortunate.
It's easy to take
so I'm
for
just
granted.
Playing, and you play these cover shows, and it's crazy sometimes, You lose sight and track of what your actual purpose is in music.
Well, you know what? You got to lose yourself sometimes to find yourself.
Yeah. That is the truth. Speaking the wisdom right here.
I mean, and life is interesting. It's like, we shed skin.
Yeah.
And
like
it's in a spiritual sense too. We shed skin, just when you think it's over, it's actually beginning, and that's how I like to look at it, especially if I'm having hard times or whatever. I'm at a point in my music where I'm like, I just don't know what to do, or if I've, lost my creativity or whatever it is. I've come to learn that, if I don't feel creative, it's because I need to expand myself somehow. I learn, I go and I educate myself, or I travel. Mm-hmm. I meet new people. I take chances. I take new risks. The excitement of a risk will sometimes just spark that thing inside. That's next thing you know, I have an album.
Right.
Or like this album right here.
Yeah, man.
This was a big step for me.
Talk about this album.
When I first came up with this album, well, I'll explain the cover. I took this picture in Turkey, in Cappadocia.
Yeah, that was cool. I remember you guys posting pictures like that. It was really
We're
cool.
on a balloon ride.
Balloon rides. Istanbul, right?
No, this is Cappadocia.
Oh, Cappadocia.
Is more central in Turkey.
Okay. I bet that was
back
cool,
is
man.
Istanbul, though.
I've always wanted to go to Istanbul.
It's beautiful.
I heard it was a really cool city.
It's insane, and if you do go, I mean, you can get your way around, but try and make a friend that speaks Turkish.
That's a crazy language too, man.
Yeah,
that language is a trip.
It is interesting.
Crazy hearing your wife speak that all the time.
Oh yeah.
She get mad at you and yell at you in Turkish.
I'm still not used to it. I'm trying to catch on. It's going to take a while, but
that's cool, man.
The last song on the album, Flight of the Balloons, came to me in a dream that I had here in Cappadocia. And so the night before we took the balloon ride. And so I was in the dream, because in Cappadocia, it's interesting because you go around and there are these caves everywhere. And they were made by the early Christians. So when Christianity just started, the Christians ran from persecution, and to escape persecution, they hid and they created these caves here in Cappadocia. And so when you go around to these caves, you see that they made these churches.
Wow.
And you walk into churches and they painted pictures of Jesus and, all the different stories on the walls. And
that's cool. That would have been cool to witness.
And what I thought was really cool is that you have a bunch of Muslims preserving Christian history that most Christians here don't know about. So in the dream, I think I was in Cappadocia in the dream, and my wife was like, "Hey, have you seen Jesus?" And I was like, "Huh?" And I looked across the street, and my friend, Jesus Gonzalez. You know Jesus?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Okay, he's a local singer-songwriter.
Oh, I think. Oh yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
And he was.
This is in your dream?
Yeah, this is in the dream. He's up on a stage, and he had a laptop, and he was like, "Hey, listen to my new song," and he pushed play on the laptop, and I'm like, that's really beautiful, you know? And I woke up and I remembered it. And so I whistled it into my phone.
That's cool, man.
And when I got back, I turned it into a song. And the second song, So Stuck on You,
that's cool,
came to me in a dream in Istanbul. And in that dream, I was in a warehouse. And
songs from dreams, right? That is so
it was
cool.
a trip. It never really happened to me before this album, getting songs in dreams. I'd had it happen one time before. I wrote a song, and I thought it was really cool, but these songs just came through real strong.
That's
and
awesome, man. What a different experience too.
I know. So
How to create a song that way. It's really cool.
So I'm in the warehouse, and somebody comes in. I was sitting with a couple other guys, and somebody walks in, and they're trying to sell their freight forwarding services, which is, my wife is in that business. So I hear about it all the time, freight forwarding.
Freight forwarding? Mm-hmm. What is that?
It's logistics. So, when a company is shipping something from,
I see.
India or something to the United States or vice versa.
Gotcha.
The middleman.
So she does that for a living?
Yeah. And
nice.
she's a senior in that.
She's the
that
top
world.
dog.
She's up there. But so I was sitting there. This guy's trying to sell his services, and I just got up and walked, which you really don't see normally in a warehouse. But in this dream, there was a basement. I walked downstairs, and there was this like weird recording studio thing, and there was all this weird equipment all over the place, and I was like, this is interesting. I wonder what all this stuff does. And then I walked into a room, and it was empty, but there was a television. And I turned around and I looked at the television. As soon as I looked at it, it turned on.
Ooh.
And it started playing this music, and I started singing to it.
Getting all magical on me, man.
And I was like, and I had words coming out. I don't remember what I was saying. I was practically crying in the dream, And I woke up. I was like, that was really cool. So I grabbed my phone again. That's what I would do, is grab the phone and
you got to document it, man. Because you never know how much of a masterpiece it'll be.
So, yeah, it came back. It's actually got a lot of nice responses. So
this one, Stuck on You.
Mm-hmm, So Stuck on You.
Cool,
It was
man.
actually...
is this all on Spotify and everything?
It is.
Cool.
Yes.
I'll check it out, dude.
It is. And
check that out, guys.
And I
Justin Werner and Co. Dream like you
live.
That's on Spotify and I would imagine Apple and a lot of other places. So.
All that stuff, Amazon.
Cool, man.
But
that's awesome. What a cool story.
Yeah.
That's amazing how you can get songs like that, man.
I know. Well, that was, like I said, the first time. There's actually 4 songs on here that came to me in dreams. The first one, Dream Like You Live, was a dream that Fast Heart Mart was in. Actually, Fast Heart Mart was in that dream. And he, there was a radio playing. And he was like, I like that song. And I was like, huh? And I noticed the radio. I was like, that is cool, And so... I woke up again. Into the phone. Amazing. I was like, and then the
4 of them, huh?
Another Part of Being, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 6th song on the album.
It's incredible, man.
I woke up from my dream and just went straight into the studio.
Nice.
And I didn't even do the phone. I was just right into and that's the recording that's on here, is me waking up out of bed, going into the studio and recording the song.
Do you have your own studio, or you just
yeah, something similar to yours,
like just something simple?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I had the chorus. I had I had Another Part of Being. That's why I call the song Another Part of Being, because that's the only words I could remember from the dream.
Yeah.
Another part of... I was like, okay. And that's why I was like, isn't that... It
must finish.
Yeah. So I came up with music, and I and I had that chorus, and I was like, okay, I need some verses. And so I came up with it, and next thing you know, I had the song. And
nice, dude.
So yeah, this album is it's a deep one for me. It's got a lot of meaning. It's to
I
me
like
it
the
was,
title too.
And then the hot air balloons, and how they rise and they drift towards these ones were drifting towards the sunrise.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really beautiful. So not only are these balloons rising, but so is the sun, and it was very symbolic to me. So awesome. I came back and I contacted my friend Gabe Feenberg up in Santa Monica, and I went to his house, and we finished the song together. He helped me to complete that song. He helped me write the whole song.
It's always good to have another person too, like kind of helping produce and get 2 ears on it, you know, instead of one person.
Yeah,
you got somebody else helping you out.
I've known him for a long time,
Yeah.
so I was like, I'm gonna go to him because I know he's got the piano down, he's got the slide trombone, you can play accordion, he's got all the toys sitting around. So I knew I'd be able to go there and we'd come up with something fun, you know. So
I love that, dude, getting in there and just experimenting. I'm about to get in there and do another song with my
I love what you're putting out.
My friend Skylar, I hit him up. I was like, man, I hate forking out money, but at the same time, I like having product. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Well, he's good. Like,
he's really good.
I notice what you do with him is quality.
It's very what's the word? We like vibe together. You know what I mean? It's like it's hard to find that connection with somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
So we vibe and we bounce ideas off each other, and it's just really cool to have somebody there that you know, has that artistic vibe about them, and they want to help you help your songs sound better. So.
Totally. Yeah.
So
and he's good. He's got that energy too.
Yeah, he does.
Like he's got that like let's do this thing kind of energy.
He's a cool guy. He's doing really well. I mean, he's doing you know,
touring everywhere.
Been on his tour, even though that probably drained his bank account, but you know, he's doing good.
Yeah.
So he got his name out there throughout the U.S. So
no. I mean,
that's how you do it, man.
Totally.
That's how you get your name out there, by touring. There's no other way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the organic way to do it.
It is. Yeah. And then
There's
now with
obviously
social media,
social
you have
media.
that, which is great because you can reach places that you normally couldn't, which is great. And then you can go there and really solidify
have your hand in different honeypots, right?
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Like I've been really corresponding with a lot of people in Turkey.
Yeah.
A lot of people in Istanbul.
That's where it's at too. Like
Ankara.
the international fan bases are
cool.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to go out there and actually meet some of these.
Play a show too. It'd be
cool
really
people.
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Have a meetup.
Yeah.
They're like meeting up here, playing a show. Come see me.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool. Just pack the house out. That'd be awesome. I think you could easily do it.
I'd love
especially
to.
if your wife, you know, she's Turkish and she'd help you get people out. I would imagine.
For sure. Totally.
That'd be easy, dude. Easy.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy, man. So you live in Irvine. You guys live in a crazy area or like busy spot, or?
Well, I mean, it's right off the highway, which is nice. So
right
it's
off
easy to
I-5.
get that access right there.
That's cool.
And you know, it's probably about 20 minutes to Costa Mesa. Is it area?
Is it like a house or apartment or?
We're just in an apartment. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not really looking to get anything quite yet. Like we want to settle into a house somewhere, but we're not really exactly sure where we want to do that. It's like
you don't know
we're
yet.
kind of like, do we want to live in LA? Do we want to live in New York City? What do we want to do? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, we're kind of in between,
figuring it out.
Yeah,
you got to.
Yeah, it's you know, and like you said, it's you know, it's a big investment. So when you finally do make that investment, you got to make sure that you're really happy with the decision. Yeah. So that's a whole other world.
I'll take it cash.
Right? Yeah. I'll take two.
One day, right? Cash.
Boom.
When your song hits gold.
Lay it down. Yeah. So
you got to keep shooting for it, man. Keep on aiming as high as you can for one of your songs to, you know, land on a movie or something big, you know.
You know, and I've found that things like that happen because I did land a song in a Sharon Stone film, but it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a top dollar like blockbuster hit or anything. It was just,
at least it was
accomplishment. Here it is. My name is in the credits with Sharon Stone and Running Wild, and I'm sitting in the theater watching my name on a screen, and you know, they paid me a little bit for it. Wasn't much, but
they gave you up front, and then you don't get royalty.
No, they don't. I mean,
that's kind of how it works, I think.
The movie didn't really make any money.
Right.
You know, so it was more or less, it's just a great opportunity. So that just came, I was just kind of hanging out in the living room, and I got a text from my friend, and she was like, hey, do you have any songs that sound like Johnny Cash? And I was like, And I sat down and I just
can make one.
I created one and I sent it off and they loved it. And I said,
awesome,
all right, here we go.
That's so cool.
So, you know, I mean,
that's the ultimate
I found
dream.
that like having goals is great, but not really defining them as much as just kind of having an idea of what you want and going with it is the most fulfilling way to do it and maintain happiness, because then you're not disappointed with the results. Oh, it's not a blockbuster. Oh man, you know, I was hoping it would be like, you know, the next Marvel Comics movie or something,
right?
You know, but it
takes time.
Yeah.
One thing leads to another, you know?
Yeah. So I didn't have that, like, oh, I want to, you know, land a song in a Brad Pitt movie or, you know, anything like that in my head. I just had that like, oh, you know, this is great. You know, I've always wanted to, you know, put a song in a movie. Or maybe if I am more, you know, specific about what I want, it'll come to me. I don't know. I lean towards that like law of attraction thing. But then at the same time, though, I also lean towards that there's something else beyond what I want.
Yeah.
That's maybe even in my best interest more so than I would have whatever I wanted to begin with. So I have a lot of faith that as long as I work and put my best intention out there, that it's all going to be okay. And
Amen.
I think my main mission is to write songs that have meaning and actually speak to people that get through, like, because I'm not going to be here forever. So, you know, even if I do acquire a mansion on the hill, it doesn't matter when I'm underground. What really matters is what I left here. And that's in the message, that's in the song. That's what I've learned all these years to craft.
Yeah.
And just like you have a message, you have something to say, you have your own legacy, you have something to leave here. And I believe everybody does, and they all have their own way of expressing that, you know, whether it be music or art or entrepreneurship or whatever it is that they find their strength in is obviously what they're supposed to do. And people will remember them for that if they follow that true, honestly, you know.
You got to make your footprint, you know.
Mm-hmm. You do, and
make it resonate with others.
And it's all about intention. Like, what are you trying to accomplish here? Are you just trying to get something, or are you trying to give something? And if you're trying to give something, you get a lot different results.
Right.
And that's what I've found is, you know, I've got songs that I'd throw in the trash can because I can tell what they are. I'm like,
don't
you know,
throw them away, man.
You know, maybe I'll keep the music.
Just put it in a folder, tuck it away, right?
But you know, then there's the songs that are obviously they have something. You know,
I got a lot of songs too, man. I got to get out.
Yeah,
I have so many. It's just like,
you got to do it.
I was trying to get my own. I mean, I got a new interface and everything, but 8-input one with the actual where it plugs into the wall. This is just a USB one.
Okay.
So I was gonna get I can't remember what it's called. It's the bigger version.
It's Focusrite?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's like the 8-input one.
Yeah.
I was gonna get that and like invest a bunch of money.
And then you can record a whole band.
Yeah, and then my computer is like crapping on me, and I'm like,
I stick with the small guy. Yeah,
it's just like one thing after another.
Yeah,
I'm
you'll
like,
do
glad I
the
got
upgrade.
the small guys.
I mean, really, ultimately, when you do upgrade, I would recommend going with like
or just
universal
hit up Skylar and be like, "Hey, man,
UA. Go with UA.
UA is good.
Yeah, do the UA because that's what I recorded my.
There's
album
only
with.
a couple of inputs though, isn't there? There's only like 2.
It depends on the unit you get.
I thought there's only 2 inputs. I was looking at. I don't know.
No, you can extend it. So
it's not like it matters. You can all do one track at a time anyway.
I mean, that's how I did my album. I did most all the instrumentation on my album
That's
myself,
awesome.
so it really didn't matter. I mean, I did a lot of the
Yeah.
drums on a keyboard, and you know, so and then I do a combination though of actual percussion instruments with.
I love the drums, dude.
It's fun. Yeah.
I did almost all the drums on my album.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Dude, I started out playing drums. That was like my first instrument.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm like rhythm based.
Okay.
Like everything I do is rhythm based. So my metronome is like,
No, the drums are tight.
yeah, super tight.
No, you did a good
Because
job.
I did marching band and stuff. So I'm like super like right on.
Yeah,
right
no,
on the
you've got
metronome.
great tempo for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took a lot of years though to like get that down.
Cool.
I started playing in 6th grade. I was playing like bass drum. I started out playing bass drum and snare. Bass drum and snare, like we'd switch off.
Yeah.
And then like my high school years, we did like pep band stuff. So I would play drum set with like the band during football or basketball games. So I kind of got good at playing drums that way. So it was kind of cool.
Nice.
It was fun, man. Growing up playing music, it was awesome. I wouldn't have changed it for anything.
No. I mean, that's one thing is if you found your passion, you're like a step ahead, probably about 60 to 75% of the world, because there are a lot of people out there
doing what they don't like to do,
and they don't even know what they like to do.
Yeah.
They didn't take the time when they were younger, and they weren't pushed towards that. And so as a result, they're miserable doing what they do, and on top of that, they don't know what they want. Yeah. And so they find themselves in between a rock and a hard place every day. Like, I don't want to do this, but what would I do otherwise?
They just keep doing it, and then before they know it, they're like 50.
You know, and
shit.
And I think like that it's like I think a lot of them would probably just go ahead and quit doing what they're, if they knew exactly what they wanted to do, they'd take that leap of faith, you know, but it's like, take that leap of faith into what? The abyss? It's, you need something there to catch you.
Want to do,
yeah. So I think we're lucky. We're very fortunate.
Even though some of these places blow, but we get paid, so.
You know, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, the
just
places,
be cool. You're gonna have a drink when you get home. It's gonna be all good.
How many people? How many other musicians are doing it for free in places?
You're right.
I mean, really, we're very.
I take a lot of it for granted.
Very
man.
lucky.
I gotta kick myself in the ass a couple times, dude.
Yeah, turn around. I'll do it for. Just joking.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
You need to, man. Seriously though, I take it for granted a lot. That's why I have to check myself all the time.
I think that's why I think gratitude is one of the most powerful things. That's when I've actually heard this a long time ago, is that gratitude is stronger than love. Yeah. Gratitude outweighs love. And they did this test, you know, I don't know if you ever seen that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? But I want to say it was put out by the same people that did The Secret.
Okay.
But there was a scientific test done, and this guy, he realized that water crystals, when you freeze the water, they form different shapes. And he then realized that when he put certain energy into each, you know, so he did this thing where he taped like "I love you" on a water bottle and put it in the freezer, and then he taped like "I hate you" on another one. Then he said "thank you" on another, and all these different messages. And he took the water bottles out and he studied the crystals inside. And the most beautiful crystals were on the "thank you" bottle. And then the next was "I love you." And then the "I hate you," it was a bunch of these little blotches. They weren't even crystals. They were these just little blotches. And so I do believe, because we are, what do they say, 70 or 90% water?
Yeah, right.
The energy that is in the world that we put out, and the energy that we receive.
Exactly. You get what you give.
You know what I mean? And that's, you know, if there's anything, you know, that I actually will subscribe to in the law of attraction, is that, because there is some sort of scientific research done. I don't know if it's proof or not, but I do know that there was some sort of something pointed out. So I think that as, you know, human beings, we're susceptible to a lot of things, but if we can realize the science behind it, we can kind of diffuse it a little bit and make our journey a little easier for ourselves. You know, it's all mind over matter. Definitely. I do believe in mind over matter. Yeah. You know, and I was saying it earlier to you about like looking at life like you're a camera, and like it's a movie, and rather than being subjective, be objective. Watch it happen. Don't be the victim. be the author. Like, oh yeah, wow, this is some good shit, you know. Wow, then they kicked his ass and they threw him out, and he landed in the snow. He got a bump on his head. He had to go home, and it's like he got stitches at the hospital, and then his wife left him, and the dog shat on him, and next thing you know, he's But it's like that's a great story. Like if you really look, and I was also thinking earlier to myself, a good writer is like Rumpelstiltskin in a room full of straw. You're either gonna go, oh man, what am I gonna do with all this, or you're gonna be like, okay, we're gonna spin this into gold right now because it's do or die, and if I don't, they're gonna kill me, right? And so I like to look at songwriting in that alchemaic way, like it's alchemy. You take that lead, and the best songs were the heaviest lead. And somebody took that and they turned it into gold, however they wanted to, whether it was a sad song or a happy song or, whatever it was that helped get them through it. And a good song. I know you know a good song when you write it because it makes you feel good afterwards, right? You're like, I did that.
Right. Pat yourself on the back, man.
And so that's the gold. And that's, I think, the real gift of being a songwriter is the ability to do that and to go and pull yourself out of a dark place.
Yeah. Definitely.
You take people like Elliott Smith. He's a real interesting case.
Yeah, he's good.
He took it. It's like he had this ability to write such beautiful music, but in the end, he couldn't handle life, and he killed himself. But it was all those times that he overcame that feeling of I want to die, that he next thing you know he has a great song, and we're like leaning back listening. Just don't listen to the words too much, because you're gonna want to kill yourself. But I like looking at cases like that because he's really genuine. I look at my favorite artists are the ones that tell a story and they're honest about their lives, and they kind of walk you through their life in a way. I love Van Morrison, Paul Simon, Bob Dylan, Neil Young. They say so much, and they move on to the next thing. Like they don't dwell on the last thing. That's why they get so many damn songs. It's like Bob Dylan especially. It's like, man, how many damn songs has this guy got? Over 1,000, 2,000 songs?
Insane.
I mean, you think about it. Okay, how much did he go through? How much did he have to go through to get all of those songs?
He's definitely a pioneer.
He got his ass kicked over and over and over and over again and said, here's another one. Here's another one. You want another one? Oh, boom. Oh, here's another song. Like, I think that if you're really in touch with your art, you can be your own therapist that way. It's great therapy. It's one of the best therapies in the world, to be able to reach into yourself and find your own medicine.
Yeah.
Because the beauty of that is, if it worked for me, chances are it's gonna work for somebody else too.
You're giving me therapy right now, man.
I can write a song and I can put it out, and people can listen to that song and say, either shut up, or they can say, wow, thank you. I needed somebody to identify with. I needed to hear that somebody else is going through this too, or has gone through this. Thank you for being honest and just telling me about it.
That's what I love about songwriting, is people can take what you say and relate to it. That's the best part.
Absolutely.
And move on with your song.
Yeah.
Through their whatever they're going through,
And then, whoever you've listened to throughout your entire life, whoever you've turned to is that comfort. A lot
of music, man.
And all those guys went through something to be able to hand you some medicine. And now you're one of those guys, and you're pouring out the honey.
I need my doctor.
Dr. John.
Pouring out the honey.
Dr. Hook.
The honey is flowing.
Dr. Feelgood.
It's seeping through my pores.
Or is that the whiskey?
Just kidding. It's both whiskey and honey.
Hey.
It's a good mix.
Whatever gets you through the night,
A lot of wisdom, Justin. So you got it. Is this when was this one released again? I'm sorry. This is pretty recent, right? This album.
Yeah, I actually released that around my birthday in August of 2018.
Wow, man, not pretty recent. It's been around.
Yeah.
You sell a lot of physical albums, or is it you find it hard?
You know, when I'm in person.
Yeah.
Like, but if I'm like doing online sales, I find a lot more downloads.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
I've shipped out a few though.
What do you think about all of that? The streaming stuff. You think it's bigger and I think more popular? Obviously, it is. That's
I mean, Spotify and
just because it's easy just to press your phone.
They've kind of squashed the music industry, and that's why they just put out that new. There's a new act. I forget what they called it, but it's basically to bring more justice to the songwriters and the musicians that make Spotify possible.
Yeah.
I looked into it. Like the CEO of Spotify is worth like several billions of dollars, and then you have all these poor artists making the content. You know what I mean? Like, okay, right. Somebody's sitting really pretty right now, and we got a lot of people digging through the dirt still. Coming up with that next song so that they can maybe get noticed and get a few fans and possibly a little check in the mail. And it's little. It's just so much injustice right now.
There's barely any money in the streaming.
Before, and I mean, I love the accessibility of the internet, and I think that it's beautiful that we figured something out there. But at the same time, though, I hope blockchain comes in and puts a quick stop to all this crap, because I do believe there's potential behind that technology to bring justice to musicians and change that course, because as accessible as it is on the internet and this is where I think we need better detection methods of detecting when somebody is ripping somebody off and saying, okay, well, this is being streamed and it hasn't been, they don't have permission to do that or whatever. But I feel like I kind of wish we'd go back to the old days when it was on record or printing on a tape, and you didn't have this digital version that people could just rip off, because that's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hard, not just to record and write the album. It's a lot of money to do that. I mean, you're just talking about how you're gonna take every last penny that you have just so you can record a song, put it out there, and people can listen to it for free, right? But it's like back when Led Zeppelin was the shit. Back when the Beatles came out, those guys made a killing. Michael Jackson, all these guys, up until that happened, these guys were making they were making as much as maybe around the same as like a football player. You can't take that away from a football player.
They're selling,
but you can take that away from a pro
copies.
Singer-songwriter. Yeah, and they were selling merchandise, and of course
merch is
tickets.
Huge now. Though
merch is huge, and honestly, vinyl's back. And if you can get into vinyl, then
I feel like a lot of people just get it just to have it. Like they don't actually pop the CD in; they just buy it.
Right.
Just for
totally.
the what you call it,
just to have it,
the memory,
nostalgic, for sure. That's why I'll always create
I have like
copies.
15 albums left. I'm like still hanging on to them. Like,
hey, you never know. One day, they might be worth something.
Yeah,
I mean,
when I die,
records hold though. Records,
I'll bury them somewhere.
Yeah, somebody will find them one day.
Put them in a treasure chest.
We'll sell them on eBay.
put them in a treasure chest with some gold. That'd be nice. X marks the spot.
How much can I get for this?
It's like 50 years later.
Craigslist.
Yeah, Craigslist found album in the ground. It's very colorful.
Be there at someone's garage
question
sale.
Do you still have a CD player? 50 years from now, who knows what's gonna happen, dude? It's all gonna be up in here, I think.
It's that's what people
phones
think.
Are gonna be in your head.
I think once it reaches that level, like humanity won't be around much longer. I mean, we're looking at a real real
really,
edge that we're
think
gonna
about
be
it. It
hanging
really
out on.
can't. I mean, if you think about how much destruction we're doing to this earth,
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, we can get into the environmental stuff, and I think that like the pollution that we put in here reflects in the world, and so you know, it's a vicious
I
cycle.
think there's a lot of people in the world.
Once you see people walking around with those virtual reality goggles everywhere, getting
Then
hit
that's
by
when you know it's
cars,
going to shit.
like, oh wow, you know, oh look, the Pokemon is over there, and then boom, you know, we have Bird Box, you know, all over
Yeah,
again.
Bird
You know what
Box,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah,
That
Bird
was
Box.
trippy.
Instead of blindfolds, they have their virtual reality glasses, and
was
they're
a
just getting
trippy
smashed into
movie.
me. You never know, that might have been the message behind that movie, huh?
Yeah. It's not actual suicide. It's like
Yeah, no, it's people that don't
damn virtual
realize what's
reality.
happening to them, and next thing you know, yeah, that's some interesting.
Because it was the
concepts right there.
eyes. It was interesting.
It was the eyes. It was all
visuals.
through the eyes, and the blind were the only ones that were immune
So
to it.
weird.
Ah, right. There's something to think about.
Yeah, it's a trip. You never know those movies, man, if they're real or not. You know, if the idea is real behind it. The movies always trip me out like that. You never know, man.
Yeah, you know, I mean, dystopian is really popular right now. I mean, it was semi-popular. I mean, I think Mad Max kind of helped kick it off, but now it's like every other thing that they put out is dystopian. You know, it's some sort of futuristic, like end of the world, apocalyptic
Yeah.
theme.
Something's gonna happen. Who knows? But right now, let's enjoy our lives, right?
We'll just write songs about it all the way to,
Yeah.
just like the Titanic will be the guys on the Titanic. you know?
Exactly. Just playing bass. I'm just glad I get to play stand-up bass.
It was a nice ride.
Cello.
Let's chip some ice off the old glacier and have ourselves a glass of
Of good old Scotch whiskey. Shit's good. You haven't drank. That's crazy, dude.
no.
You don't drink
I'm
ever.
I don't drink.
You're gonna live forever, my friend.
I drink the good old H2O.
That's how my dad was. He never drank because his dad was a boozer,
Okay.
so he never drank. But we all are convinced that he smoked weed for sure. He tried to pull it off like he didn't do anything, but we all think that, yeah, we all think he smoked weed because he would be super mad, like moody, and then all of a sudden he'd be really cool. Sometimes, you know what I mean?
He went out to the woodshed.
Yeah. We're like, okay, all right.
Dad went for a walk.
Yeah, we called him Papa. He didn't like it when we called him Dad. He's like, call me Papa.
Yeah.
All right, Papa, Grandpapa.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of, Grandpapa. That was a crazy life.
Was your dad a musician?
Another story.
Was he a musician too?
Yeah, he was. He was down here doing it for a long time.
Do you ever play any of his songs?
Yeah.
Do you?
Looking for a job. Yeah, I play that every so often. I want to get in there and actually record it. It'd be cool. He has a lot of good songs. I'll show you after. He's got a handful of like really good. They're like country kind of songs, but like super good songwriting though.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
So he recorded a lot too?
Yeah, he did like he did not like completely professional, but he did stuff that was like,
Cool. I want to
you
hear
could
it.
listen to it. I'll show it to you after. Yeah, it's like country, like oldies country stuff. It's really cool.
Did you learn a lot from? Did he teach you how to play?
Well, we all kind of taught ourselves, and we lived in such a big, household that it was just ADD, just scrambling. So we all kind of just. I didn't really start getting into. I did a lot of my playing at school, like with the drums and a lot of stuff at home was hard to. It was hard to play at home. But I did play when I could, but it was hard at home because there were so many people in the house. 2-bedroom house.
So you're like, I'm going to San Diego, damn it.
Yeah,
I need to hear my thoughts here.
that was way down the road, but
yeah.
I mean, we grew up in a small house, a lot of kids, so it was just the surprisingly school was like the getaway, which sucks, and the outdoors. That was
Well, it got you into drums, which is a good
Yeah.
foundation. So
I think I picked up guitar, before. I was kind of doodling with that, but then I really liked the drums just because it was just fun to bang on stuff
Yeah, for sure.
first of all, but it was really cool when everything clicked.
Yeah.
The band clicked with the drums. And
Yeah,
it was just, like,
totally.
so cool. It was that energy rush, like that adrenaline. So,
did you have a band?
Like in high school, no.
No.
No, always did solo stuff, and I did choir. Yeah, I never did like a band. That I can't remember. I always just jammed with people, and we never really started a band. Really, it's hard to do that. It's hard to
find people that will commit themselves to a group. Yeah,
it's just hard to find people. Like, I give all those bands props too.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's so hard to be consistent and be on the same page with the same person for that long.
I know.
I always give those people props. I was watching Foo Fighters documentary. Such a trip, like watching them.
Yeah, Dave Grohl, man, he's amazing. Yeah,
I watched all those documentaries, Oasis documentary, the Stones. Like, it's crazy how they just stuck with it. You know, they had their issues, you know, every so often, but they always came back and grind it out. You know?
Even the Beatles, in the end, they were like they would work on an album at separate times, so they they were never in the same room together, but crazy. They come after and add their part. It's cool. It's pretty neat to actually look at, like, you know, the guys that lasted, especially like the Rolling Stones. So you look at them and they're still doing it.
It's insane.
They're one of the oldest bands. I wonder if they made the Guinness Book of World Records or something.
They probably made their own record.
They did make records, didn't they?
Dude, I can't believe how they're still doing it. It's insane. Like, they're still touring. I think they're doing a U.S. tour soon here. It's insane. My friend from New York, she's like this older lady. She's a good friend. Not older, but older than me. And she's like, "You gotta come out." She was in that era. She's in her 60s, I think. But she was like, "You gotta come out. I got tickets to the Stones. You gotta come out to New York." She's from New York, so I was like, I don't know, man. Probably gonna be busy with doing stuff here. I already saw him live.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm like, I already saw him live.
Yeah, me too.
I could just YouTube it.
I saw him at the Bridges to Babylon tour.
Yeah? When was that?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
It was. I was living in the Boston area.
Boston. When did you leave Boston to here? How old were you?
2000. I was actually 19 when I first got here. It was in 99.
You've been here a long while.
Yeah.
A good amount of time. Do you know a lot of the people here, like, as far as like the people in the music, and have you met a lot of connections?
I met a lot of people here. Yeah.
People come and go too, I would imagine.
A lot of people come and go. Yeah. But
they can't handle it.
Either that or they just find something somewhere else, you know? Like,
there's always something somewhere else.
You know, like, I mean, it's also, you know, one of those things where this isn't necessarily the market for everything. San Diego is great for a certain sound, but then you kind of have to reach out elsewhere to find, you know, other things. Like, there's a place for that in Nashville or in Austin or in Chicago.
I remember you telling me to go to Nashville. I think
I think JC Honeyman would go over well in Nashville.
I thought I don't know. I like the weather here too much, you know.
I know. Yeah.
That's what gets me every time. I'm like, the weather's so awesome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Tennessee isn't bad.
Tennessee's beautiful. It's a great state.
It is.
It's a little cheaper too.
It is.
To live, and
of course then that means the income is a little lower too.
And they have Cracker Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Cheese hash browns, so good. And the grits with the butter in it.
That's in Florida too.
So good, dude.
I remember Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
I lived in Florida for a while. Yeah.
Florida's cool too. I'd move there.
Yeah.
I used to live in Tampa, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Ybor City.
Ybor, yeah, that's a cool city. That's a really hopping music scene too there. It's even more busy there.
I'm sure it is actually, yeah.
I think it's even more busy.
I want to say people like it's funny because you think California, wow, it's one big party all the time, but when the winter hits, it's like
it gets cut off.
Quiet. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's the thing about Florida is it keeps going. Because Florida's warmer, so people go there during that time.
A lot of people come down from the north and they go there and like
more vacation hub than here.
Yeah. At one point in time, it was like, you know, it was a certain demographic. You know, you had your, like, you know, 65 and older retirees, and they would go down, and that was their, that was where they would retire, and you have, a lot of those communities. And then over time it progressed, and a lot of hipsters moved in, and you got a lot of everything now. It's pretty
All kinds
neat.
of people, yeah.
Miami, you got your Key West scene, you got your Keys, then of course you have a lot of nice cruises right off of the coast there. And I mean, Florida has a lot. It's just what I couldn't handle about Florida were the hurricanes and the rainy season. Rainy season was, and we experienced some floods. Though. That's amazing.
The thunder and lightning. It's so cool.
I know.
But it gets overwhelming in the heat, and that wet heat.
The humidity is bad.
This dry heat is where it's at.
I know.
That and the rain all the time.
That's why I got stuck here. I couldn't.
Yeah, I like the weather here. Mm-hmm. It's the best.
And I've even contemplated. Okay, well, do I want to live in San Francisco? I tried it for a couple months a while back, and it's
too cold.
It's cold, windy. It's got and the elements they can take their toll.
Everything's expensive.
On top of that, it's pricey. So.
But hey, if you're making a lot of money, it don't matter.
You're doing good, yeah. If you're Zuckerberg, then you're in heaven,
Start a social media platform. Yeah. There's already a lot of those already. I think I just start making my own whiskey. Everybody drinks, so.
Well, then that's why you need to move to Nashville.
Make a bourbon. This shit's good. Johnny Walker, damn, it's good. Takes a while for it to be aged and stuff. So I don't know. I thought about that, but I'm like, oh, it's a lot of work. That's a huge investment.
Everything's work.
Yeah.
It's all a choice, It's no matter what. It's like the grass is always greener on the other side. It's all about what you put the time into, and the passion that you found to begin with, that you're always going to go back to. It's that first bicycle that you rode that you loved, and you were like, man, and you fell off, and you were like, man, I fell off my damn bike, and I'm going to go get a new bike, and. It's like, no, man, that was your favorite bike right there.
It'd be cool to have a winery, too. That'd be legit. Some wine. Just go back. Drain your own barrel of wine. Just be like, all right, I got the wine.
Gary Vaynerchuk did it.
Yeah. That'd be cool, too.
He gained some leverage. He's got his own brand out now. He just put out a new brand of wine.
The Ask Gary V Show.
Oh, man. What I like about him is he just gives all this really good information away.
Yeah,
but he doesn't get into detail about how to do it. He leaves that
to
the team.
Yeah.
To as far as
he leaves it up to everybody.
The data science, and he's like, oh no, all you got to do is make an ad. Okay, no, you don't just make an ad. You can waste a lot of money just making an ad.
There's other elements.
Yeah, how do you target? You got to target. Okay, well, how do you target?
Right.
How do you test? How do you A/B test? And then it's like, then you get into it and realize, oh wait, no, I have to go to school, in order to market. That's why people get a degree in marketing, because they have to learn digital marketing. There's a whole degree for that. So, props to Gary Vee for getting on people and putting a fire under their ass, but direct them to some educational institutions or facilities that they might be able to actually
Gary, what the F?
Valid information that will really put their stuff out there.
He always cusses too. It's so funny.
And I love his. I think what's great about him is
he's like, stop fucking watching House of Cards.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so funny.
Yeah. He's like, well, you know what your problem is?
Yeah.
Fucking Netflix. Okay. No, he
is right though.
Between him and Tony Robbins is they're all rah, and but then there's guys out there that I found like Indiepreneur for musicians. They give actual value. Mm-hmm. They really they dig into giving you real information. Circa, the main guy.
Yeah, I saw that. He always sent me emails.
He's always putting out new content and giving new value.
What a cool name.
Right?
Circa.
Seriously, right?
He's like the master.
And he's a musician too. He's got his own songs.
He's like the Buddha King.
He's in Florida.
Circa.
But I took I spent like $8, and I learned a little bit about what they're doing, and makes so much more sense. Cool, if you really know how to control what's going on with your ads, if you really know how to round up your audience, as opposed to just shooting it out to a bunch of people blindly all the time, how to retarget It's called targeting and then retargeting.
Yes.
The targeting is the easy part. The retargeting is where
That's
it gets
true.
complicated. Yeah. So it's like, oh, you want to retarget. How do I do that? So understanding how to use your assets and your insights and how to build audiences and how to test and all that stuff is really what puts you in that advantage point of being able to really reach people that actually like what you're doing. And there's so many people that hang up their hat and they give up because they just don't realize there's an audience for them.
That's what I feel like right now.
Well, you know what though? You shouldn't, because
that's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It just comes in waves.
I felt like that. I felt like I just started digging into market. I actually took a marketing class over here at Miramar. I went in. I just took a general marketing class just to understand all the different components of marketing, what it is, and then I realized later it's digital marketing is one of the best things. Of course, one-on-one personal marketing is the best because it's the most effective. You're meeting the people and you're able to show them. And so, but if you're savvy enough with the computer, then you can find your audience
I'm very savvy with it, so I'm gonna get into that.
Just dig in.
I got a
because
lot of spare time too, man.
There's so much more, there's so much more. Like your audience is probably sitting there in New Zealand or
just chilling.
I mean,
for me.
really, like,
where's my songs at?
That's one thing I found, and I love my home. I love the United States, and I love the people that I grew up with. I love the people around, but I really feel like there's other countries that appreciate it more.
Like Europe.
Yeah, because we're oversaturated here.
We are.
in
With
machine music, and I call it that because basically almost all these singers they're singing into their microphone and then they run it through an auto tuner and they sound like a machine, and then the music in the background is a machine, and even the rock and roll is being fused with machines now, and it's nothing wrong with that because I'm doing some machine stuff too. But at the same time, though, we're losing a little bit of the art.
I know.
We're losing a little bit of the expression. We're losing a lot of that. We're losing a lot of the dynamics of what the art represents. Like what Tom Waits was doing, back. I mean, there was a guy that was able to express himself in so many different ways and reach you in a way that was just, you either get it or you don't. But that was the beauty of it. If you get it, then awesome. And he had a record company behind him, and that was when that was a lot easier to attain. Now it's like, okay, if you go through the machine and you know somebody, then you might get in, and if you get in, then you might stay in.
I feel like
otherwise
the music industry is a black hole. You're going to get your ass kicked out. It is.
It's not, but it's seemingly that way. The thing about it is, if you're focusing on the radio all the time.
I don't even listen to the radio.
I do. I listen to it all the time. But at the same time, though, I don't let it suck me in. I just listen to it and say, okay, I got to learn that song for the
hate the
next
commercials.
Show. I do too. But
it's all these ads, man, ad after ad. I'm like, I already see enough YouTube ads.
I know.
I'm good, dude.
I know. Yeah,
Facebook ads, YouTube ads. I see Billie Jean everywhere. I'm good.
It's just a big advertisement. Everything. It's like even the songs now, they sound like
trash.
It's like if they're not advertising Hennessy, they're advertising some other
or
Gucci,
naked girls,
Versace, all the things you can't afford. They're the Lamborghinis, the Ferraris,
talking about
Bentleys and Benzos. And
I was reading this post about a girl like in a bikini. When she posts a picture of her in a bikini,
mm-hmm.
and it's like a bunch of people, and then you post something about a song you worked on for 5 or 6 months, and there's just nobody likes it.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh yeah.
And then everybody likes the girl in the bikini, of course, right? Because sex sells.
Well, yeah, and also visuals sell too. Yeah. Like a visual, like if that's why it's like that's why learning about marketing is important, because you can use that stuff to gain leverage.
Maybe I should take a picture of my ass.
Yeah, exactly. Put it out there, people.
Wear some Fruit of Loom. What is it? The Fruit of Loom underwear.
Oh yeah.
Or
Hanes.
Hanes underwear.
Yeah. You flip it.
Just become a
show the tag.
bodybuilder. Just be like, I play music too,
You can
guys.
do a little campaign. Do a little campaign called "Flip It and Show Me the Tag."
Flip it and
you turn around and you show the tag.
If it's yours, let me work it. Find out. Oh, that Missy Elliott song came to mind. It's your name and never fling yet. Remember that song? Get a big let me search it. Oh man.
Yeah, now it's Cardi B. It went from
Cardi
her,
B's the new Missy Elliott, right?
Yeah,
pretty much.
Well, it jumped from her to
Cardi B's hot though, man.
Oh yeah,
She's hot.
She's
hotter than Nicki
on the
Minaj.
scene. Like,
That's for sure.
she's a little bolder. She's getting out there.
She looks
really,
less robotic than Nicki Minaj. I used to think
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj was hot. I was like, Cardi B is pretty hot now. I don't know.
But
Anyway.
I mean, they all have their place, and I'm not gonna knock anybody. I think that if I was in their position, I would jump in that too. Post Malone was a singer songwriter like us.
lot.
He plays like folk songs. Like you can find videos of him doing Bob Dylan tunes.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, he realized, you know what though, there's more of a market for this stuff. I'm gonna
Totally.
do this.
He's
and
smart.
you can see he's still honest about it when he writes his lyrics and he's saying something. He says it from the heart. And I think that's why his voice is so genuine,
Yeah.
But
He's super talented.
he had to kind of give in to a certain genre and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and box myself into this right now because I know this is what's going to. But one day, I do believe that he's going to get back to his roots.
Me too.
I do believe that. I think that he has that. Like I think if you were to meet him and like, jam with him, he's just like me and you jamming out and hanging out in
cool.
the. I could see that. Like he's a cool cat.
Seems like a cool guy.
He's
But
not.
if he's not, he's like a total asshole.
I know, right? Right. Seriously. No.
He's like Mick Jagger.
No, I think he's so sensitive and he's so
No,
honest
he's probably
about
really
it
cool.
that he is cool. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, I heard about a tweet he did the other day. He's talking about pretty much his insecurities of like, hey, you know what? I if you love my music, stop talking shit about me. It's like, well, you know what though? You're in front
He's
of
a
millions
superstar,
of
man.
people. Like, you got to expect some people to
His
talk
album
some-
hit like what was his album? Did beat Michael Jackson's record?
Really?
For the album.
Wow.
Most played album or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was the charts. It charted
Yeah.
more than however many times, and it beat Michael Jackson, which was whatever year. I don't know what's the record now, but his album did really well. The
He
one,
deserves it.
yeah.
he deserves
I mean,
it.
he's game changing the music.
He's great.
I mean, that's what people like. And then
No doubt.
he added like harmonies and good melodies and good lyrics to rap.
He's musical. He's a musical
he added
guy.
music to rap. Was basically what he did.
No doubt.
Which was really cool.
I love it.
It's nice to see that flavor in rap. And then he didn't make it so provocative and so dirty and
Right.
so bad.
Yeah, no, I mean he does. He gets a little controversial, but I think you have
It's
to
not
add
that bad though.
You got to
compared
add
to-
a twist. You can't just stay safe all the time because nobody's going to
Yeah.
listen to you.
Exactly. He did some of his stuff but
Yeah,
I mean that's what made him who he is. So I like him.
yeah, me too. And I'll listen to all these guys, and once in a while they'll.
That's the
hit
only rap
something,
I'll listen to. That or Drake. That's it. That's
Drake's
the only
cool
rap.
too. Drake's got some.
Got some good stuff.
No, I got that album Compton by Dr. Dre. It came out a couple years ago, right around the same time Kendrick Lamar put out "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe,"
Yeah.
and
Bitch, don't kill my vibe.
Kendrick's on that album, and Snoop Dogg's on that album, Eminem's on that album, Ice Cube is on that album. They all make a reappearance. Like he brought them
they
all
all-
back
yeah.
in, and
That's what's cool. They all collab like that.
I love that album. I can't stop listening. I've been listening to that album now for probably about 3 years straight.
Nice.
It's on my iPod right now. I have it set.
I'm gonna play it when I drive back.
Literally, I was playing it earlier today. I mean,
Yeah, man.
and I listened to these songs over and over and over again because of the richness, and it's in the way they use metaphor. It's like it's not what you think they're saying. It is what you think they're saying, but at the same time, though, there's an underlying message there.
Yeah.
And I love that in music when you actually have somebody that's saying something, and if you can read a little deeper, you really hear the message. That's where you connect.
So,
But
all right, man. Well, we're gonna wrap this up. I usually stick with about an hour, and we're there. So people can find you at. You got a website, justinwerner.com, right?
Yeah, Justin Werner Music.
Justin Werner Music.
Werner, like
That's
the latter.
gonna all be in the description, everybody, if you're listening. And he's got an album on Spotify, iTunes. Dream Like You Live.
Yeah.
That's exactly how everybody should live their life. Dream like you're living.
Dream like you live. Don't stop.
Go ride hot air balloons in Turkey.
Gotta believe in something. Believe in yourself, and find me on Instagram too, Justin Werner Music.
Yep.
And you can find me on Facebook, Justin Werner and Company, Justin Werner and Co. Sweet, and find me on Spotify, all that good stuff. But thank you so much for having me on the show.
Hey man, it's good to get you on and talk music with you, man. Always a pleasure.
Likewise.
And have a good day, and we'll keep in touch. And
Definitely.
Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for listening to the JC Honeyman podcast. We'll see you on the next episode.